Hello, everyone. So I am back with Check Your Understanding number two, and here we go. This is page 323. We are going to be graphing a quadratic function from its equation in general form. All right. So sketch a graph of this quadratic function. Now, guys, um, if you follow along with the example given in the book, um, since this is about figuring out what the x-intercepts are and how to make use of the x-intercepts to be able to graph the function. So let's just check first if we can actually factor this trinomial. And if we could, then we can make use of the x-intercepts. All right. Let's see what happens. Y equals -2 times x squared minus 5x plus 7. Now, guys, if I'm able to factor this into two binomials, then I will have the x-intercepts right away. However, as you can see, I don't think you can have two factors for 7 that would have a sum of -5. So that means we cannot do that. All right. So let's ask ourselves, does this even have an x-intercept in the first place? All right. Let's see. B squared minus 4ac. All right, because that will tell you how many roots there will be. Okay, and the roots will be the same number. Will give you the x-intercepts. All right, so let's see. B squared minus 4ac would be 10 squared minus 4 times a times c. Okay, guys, this is 100. All right. Negative, negative, negative. So that would be minus. 4 times 2 is 8 times 14. 8 times 14 is 112. Wait a minute. It is less than 0. Therefore, there are no x-intercepts, right? Because there is no root. So what do you think it is that we can do? Well, I think at this point, we just have to turn it into the vertex form to be able to help us figure out what it will be. All right. But at the beginning, I think there's something that we can already tell ourselves. We know that the y-intercept is what? It's this number, -14. Yep, -14. So in this graph, I know that it's going to pass through this point. You got it? Okay. So let's use a red for that, just so that you can actually see. All right. I'm doing it here. Okay. -14 appears to be there. Okay. Now let's turn this into a into completing the square. So this one, y equals -2x squared plus 10x minus 14. It becomes -2. I factor out the -2 from the first two terms only. That would be x squared minus 5x. And then minus 14 comes out here. What is it that we need to add here to make it a perfect square? That means it's going to be the middle term divided by 2 squared. Right? Okay, so now guys, whatever we add, we subtract. Okay? So that means if we are going to simplify this, -5 over 2 squared becomes 25 over 4 times -2 would be -50 over 4 or -25 over 2. But since it is actually adding a negative, so to counter that, we're going to be adding a positive 25 over 2. Are you with me? So let's continue. This one will be -2 times x minus 5 over 2 squared minus, to put these two together, I will have the same denominator. That would be 28 over 2 plus 25 over 2 To simplify further, that would be negative 2 times x minus 5 halves squared minus 3 over 2. All right. So what is the vertex? The vertex would be this number and this number. So the vertex would be 5 halves, negative 3 halves. Now, guys, remember that this is your function and the a value in front of the x squared is a negative, therefore it opens down. So let's find out where this is, and let's take a look. 5 halves, negative 3 halves. All right. 5 halves would be about 2.5. Okay. So maybe over here, this is 2.5, and the negative 3 halves would be somewhere here. All right. So just saying. Okay. So let's just check again. 2.5, negative 1.5. All right. So this is 3. That's 2.5. Okay, that's good. Negative 1.5 will be 1, 2. Okay, all right. Now, what else do we have? So we have our vertex. We have our y-intercept. So as you can see, it's probably going to go this, oops, probably going to go this way. All right. Now, if you're wondering, well, what about on the other side? Now, guys, ask yourself this. This vertex is 2.5, negative 1.5, right? Okay. Now, guys, it's supposed to have another part of this graph over here. But how can you tell how it would look like? We need at least one point, just like this, just to be able to come up with something that would be a good sketch of the parabola. All right. We need to know a point somewhere here. And how do we do that? Well, this is the trick, guys. What is this point? Yes, I know it's the y-intercept, but it has what coordinates? It has coordinates 0, negative 14, isn't it? Now, guys, remember that there is an axis of symmetry over here, right? Passing through the vertex. And the axis of symmetry tells you that what is on the left side of the axis of symmetry would also be found on the right side. That means that all we have to do is figure out how far is this point from the vertex horizontally. So we need to figure out what is this distance from 2.5 to here. All right. And that is obviously 2.5. So let's just do another 2.5 going this way. And we can find out what the other point of the graph is on this side, because it's going to be having a y value of negative 14 also. Are you following me? Because it's a reflection of this point, right? So if I go to the right of the vertex by 2.5, I will have it at 5 right here. So that means my other point would be what? 5, negative 14. And that would be over here. And now I can come up with sort of a nice graph. Okay. Of course, it's just a sketch, but at least you get the idea, right? And I have a nice sketch of my graph. Okay. But that's it for this check your understanding. I will leave letter B for you to do. Thanks for watching.